This is Dr. Jack Barnathan, and I have the privilege to share with you today with a friend who I admire quite a bit. And I just shared with her, I'm actually using her as a teaching tool for a lot of my students and my clients for how to do it right. Do what? Be a success. What is a success in my mind? Yes, you could say with Elena Smirnova that being a success is having total sales exceeding over 250 million in 12 years. Um, Being one of the top five New York City agents, being this year, last year as well, but this year, I think just last week, that was announced, being listed as as a form of a lifetime achievement award in the $1 million club, which is huge. So this is someone who's incredibly accomplished in her work, but graduated valedictorian of the University of Colorado, which I had the opportunity to be a guest lecturer at for several years, um, and it's an incredible school, and to be valedictorian and studying mathematics, physics, entrepreneurship, and her major classical piano. But then this is the exciting thing, and I'm actually going to let you meet her in a second. But Elena, I got to let everyone see who you are. She then went to New York. Why? Oh, well, because she had to perform at Carnegie Hall and complete her master's from the Manhattan School of Music. She's one of the most successful in her profession, but today I want to talk with Elena a little bit about some of those elements because in my work as a strategist, as a seminar leader, I've worked with some of the most unique people from consulting and teaching presidents of the United States, Hollywood icons, pro and Olympic gold legends, astronauts, architects, inventors, investors, and there's something more than just the facts that make a success. And I think this is something that needs to be shared, and I think it's worthy of Netflix, pay attention, of a show and so forth. But let me have you meet Elena Smirnova. Hi, Elena. Uh, Elena, uh, I'm whoops, Elena, I don't know if is your audio on?
Let's do the. Can you?
Whoops. I think I'm hearing you now.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Gotcha, gotcha. I know I went on a little bit long. You probably had to mute me there, but
No, that was quite an introduction. Thank you.
it's so important. And I said to Elena just before we started, I always teach my students copy excellence, but not in your field. Uh, I don't want people to feel like they're being a copycat, so to speak, and imitation is disaster. But to find someone, if you are a bookseller or you're study someone who is one of the top people in real estate and so on. And that's so exciting. Elena, part of what we want to talk about today, to get to where you're at, you've had to be meticulous with the details and preparation and negotiation, which a lot of people I think find scary. But when I asked you about it once, you kind of had a smile on your face. Just share your perspective with
Sure.
the
Yeah.
prep.
Yeah. No, thank you, first of all. That was a wonderful long introduction. I appreciate it. Um, Negotiation is a very interesting thing. You can read a lot of books about it. You definitely have to know the numbers, but there's some sort of art to like how you present certain facts to your clients and how you present them then back to the other party because when you're in the middle, you're the middle person, right? So
Right.
you have all the information I gather from the other party that I then relay it to my client that they wouldn't otherwise have had because they're like CEOs or they're like, attorneys or tech or, finance
Mm,
people. They don't do this every single day in real estate specifically. So you just have to know all the facts and know how to ask the right questions. And then once I get all that data, I kind of know how to approach the negotiation, whether it's going to be like, a few times back and forth, or if it's going to be like, okay, we're going to just do a best and final now, or, you kind of like decide based on the data and then manage their expectations.
I manage their expectations.
Yeah.
Sometimes like legally, and again, I'm not the expert, but I think let's say somebody makes an offer and it's a really it's
Yeah.
way off.
Well,
But
that happens often.
yeah, okay. You still have to tell your client
Yeah.
that offer, which I'm guessing some of your clients sometimes might take it out on you, but you're just sharing it, but
Yeah.
you have to find that way to communicate it, right?
Exactly. No, actually, I work a lot with buyers, so I'm the one putting the offers in usually. But I have a listing now where the buyer's broker submitted an offer and it was really low, like below the recent comps and below market by far. And that's just a waste of everybody's time because he should have prepared his client better. Like if
Mm,
this is where they're thinking or where their budget is, like this is not realistic. So it didn't go anywhere. But I try to do my best to also educate the brokers because some brokers just don't do the homework.
yeah.
So on both sides.
Manage expectations, like you said,
Yeah.
and help to frame things. When I years ago I started as I was a director of a crisis hotline, and
Right.
I what I learned, it's like there were rules we had to follow in terms of reflective technique, but what I developed and I've used my whole life in a sense was helping people frame
Mhm.
their fire, what their real strengths were. You can't give
Yeah.
people false hopes but say, look at this, and there's got to be a certain creativity to it. And then you take over the part of the brain that is the most powerful, which is not, it's more the emotion than the actual, we need the structure, but
Mhm.
95% of the brain doesn't understand language. When I share that with people, it's a neurological fact, and it's our DNA, it's emotion. And the stuff that our caveman, cavewoman forebears knew, we're still doing today. If there's a sudden loud noise, I was in a restaurant and the waiter dropped a tray, everybody made themselves small.
Mhm.
Because if we were a caveman, that would make it harder for the dinosaur to bite our head off. And so emotion and artistry,
Yeah.
that to me is really, I think it's not even being touched, even by the TV shows and the things
Mm.
that we're seeing in the media or even on social media. It's like now the part of Elena who's a Carnegie Hall artist, who's somebody who has studied and you enjoy the arts and are support you help to support them as well. See, it's like by supporting them, you understand the structure, but then you're helping the creativity. Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about your thoughts that way with how the
Yeah.
artistry can be such an important value.
Yeah. Well, when I started real estate, I didn't know anything, right? I didn't know the business, I didn't know the people. All I knew was music and art. So I just took whatever skills I learned from that and like started to do my research and develop that. But from the beginning, something clicked. I think it was this subconscious kind of or like awareness of getting to know what people really want rather than giving them like what you think they want. So
Yeah,
like picking up on those little details and then I just like fought for whatever they want. Like if they really wanted that apartment, I just went for it. Or like if they wanted to see all of the city, I took them to see like 70 apartments. Like I did everything,
wow.
just to get myself immersed. And that's what I thought it takes. But then I learned that a lot of people don't do it that way. So I think I learned a lot doing it like the long way first. I
Yeah.
made a lot of mistakes, and then you just learn from them.
But that sets you apart though, that you go to
Yeah.
that you're looking at what they really want. And even I'd
Exactly.
imagine even when you bring them into uh what could be their future home or a
Yeah.
big investment or both, there's a lot of creativity or you have to like bring that side to bear along with here's the square feet, but look at
Mhm.
the view.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you just pick up on people's, energy or their body language or that kind of thing that I think a lot of more aggressive agents will miss because they're so focused on selling. And a lot of times my clients will be in a showing with me and the listing broker is just talking like nonstop. And then they don't even have time to feel the space. So then when they leave the apartment, they were like, what did we see? And I was like, well, you didn't have time to see anything because you were listening.
Yeah,
But they said that, it was a great apartment, but, it just something didn't feel right. So I
yeah,
just learned that you have to let people feel the space.
yeah. And in even neighborhoods, I guess you have to research and be
Oh,
able to,
yeah. They're
yeah,
all so different. Every 5 blocks is a different neighborhood almost in New York City.
yeah.
So you just have to know a lot. You have to do
No,
your
it's true. I was downtown recently, and a part that I used to spend a lot of time at, haven't been there in a while, and I was like, where am I?
Yeah,
What what
exactly.
happened?
And it changes too, because there's a lot of restaurants always turning over and there's a lot of new things coming all the time. So
Yeah, I was looking for the Blue Water Grill. Damn it, it's gone.
it's
Yeah,
gone.
I know, but it
I'm
was a
sorry
great
to hear.
that was a great restaurant. But being able, um, yeah, being able to anticipate, but a lot of it's listening too, right? It's like like you
Totally.
said, picking up on that.
Listening and psychology and therapy. I feel like they're therapists a lot of times because they dump all their problems and then I have to just,
Wow.
you know, usually when people are moving, it's a stressful situation, right? So
Yep.
you get to see them at, not their best. So then you have to know how to deal with their emotions and stuff.
I read a study that the three greatest stresses are death, public speaking, and buying or selling your real estate, your home.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. Public speaking, I got no problem with that. The death part, yeah, I'm not into, but
Not into that.
no, but it's a big when my last office, I person was showing me things and I said to them, "Are there any trees around here?" Because like during breaks, this was when I was still practicing. I like to go outside where my first office was and just get some air and feel like and and that person was like, I guess so. And I remember how it bothered me, and I thought, okay, I shouldn't let this bother me, but it's like it bothers me, you know? I want to find a
Yeah.
place with some trees, and yeah, ended up finding a place with a field and trees. It was
There
fantastic.
you go. There you
Yeah.
go. You know what you wanted.
You're one more question, Elena. It's so great.
Sure.
I know one of your passions is new developments. And
Yeah. I love it.
do you see just one little thought? Maybe this could be our next conversation. Like we just talked about how the Blue Water Grill's gone and the neighborhood's changed a little. What do you see that excites you about new developments and specifically in Manhattan?
Yeah, I mean, new development is the future, right? So it's creating a new kind of product and bringing in different people to the city, attracting foreigners and all sorts of people from all over the world. It's amazing, like architecturally, some of the buildings are just stunning. I was this penthouse I was in the other day in Sutton Tower was amazing, it was spectacular.
Wow.
It's really unique, and there's always opportunities, and I think it's a great field to be in New York City because there's so many new developments coming up all the time. So it's one of
Exciting.
my passions.
Exciting. So
Yeah.
the details, but the artistry together, making making
Yeah,
success,
making the magic happen.
making the magic, that's our word, making the magic happen. And that with that substance, not just artistry alone is great, but I don't think you could rise to where Elena is without also that passion and making it an art to do the details. Elena, this was fantastic today. I'm so excited. Uh, uh, Supernova underscore New York. Uh, no,
And
Supernova New York is your website, spelling out New York, and then on Instagram, social media, Supernova underscore NY, to reach, get in a conversation and learn from this person and find your new home. Um,
I would love to work with you.
there we go.
Yeah,
Thank you, Elena.
thank you so much.